Okay, Thursday before we go on our first conference road game. Still a lot of work to do, still a lot of things to clean up. Once again, I think the defense has had a really good week, which is always important when you go on the road. Better play really good defense, you're going to take care of the ball.
Speaking of defense, you've talked about the number 2 cornerback position being an issue. Why hasn't Ryan Henderson played the pretty good performance at the end of camp?
Yeah, we try to look at everybody, and Ryan just really hasn't been up with that first group, and that just happens sometimes. You got certain numbers, and you go with what you feel who should be there. And Ryan will be ready, just like all our guys. You never know.
What is it about Torrin Harris that you feel he's a guy that can be at the head of that group?
Well, because we've seen it. I think Torrin was playing really, really well at the beginning of last season. And it would be hard to argue that he wasn't playing as well as Mikel at the time. Mikel took off in the middle and later part of the year, of his sophomore year, but Torrin was playing really well, very fast, very long. And I think when he's completely right, I think Torrin's really good, and we've seen it on film, so we don't have to guess.
Did playing 5 and 6 defensive backs against Syracuse kind of help these corners that missed camp get back in the groove of things?
Yeah, it did. I think you're right. You look at guys like Bacham who did not practice very much during camp, like Torrin Harris, who did not practice very much during camp. Those guys missed a lot of time, and so you can see it. They're a little rusty out there. Fortunately, we were able to play them and still win the game, and so I think they'll continue to get better.
Lane, obviously Kobe Fleener's gone, but what's the challenge like having to face 2 tight ends of their caliber with Toilolo and Ertz?
Yeah, mismatch issues, and they go after you. They're gonna split them out and make you cover them. So they do a really good job with that. They got us last year on one, and I'm sure they'll try again.
Is it Sco that with their linebacker coming back? How does that affect things, in terms of game planning against them?
Well, I don't really think that much game plan. They don't change your scheme. I just think, it's another veteran player in there who makes a bunch of plays, and really, I think the key to their defense is they're really smart, so they don't give up a bunch of big plays, especially in the run game, and they're very physical. They give you issues, and they have really good sack numbers over the years, but it's the amount of hits that they get on the quarterback. They do a really good job, and they're coached to play very physical and to finish on the quarterback very physical, after the ball's thrown, and they do a good job.
What kind of week has Cyrus had?
Cyrus done some good things. He's taken some reps at guard and center for us, as well as Abe. So, we have great confidence no matter who goes in.
Yesterday, you said X and Randall were first day picks. Did you mean first day as in first round or first day as in first old format, first 3 rounds?
No, I think they will. I think they'll eventually be first day. First round picks. We're right there. Now, obviously, they got to continue to develop, but they have the potential to do that. I think if you ask any scout when they come out there and they watch them practice and watch them play, I think you'd hear a lot of the same.
Is the number of road games you have to start the season an advantage or disadvantage?
Well, I think it's an advantage for the long run. I think it's a disadvantage, right away. As you look at some other schools, a lot of times they don't leave home early. They schedule some easy wins, so they can, they can rest their players and not have some things like happened to us late in the game last week on the road. So it's just different styles.
How has Antoine Woods performed compared to your expectations for him through his first 2 games, both in terms of stamina and in terms of overall skill level?
Well, I think stamina, he's done a great job. Really a great offseason, dropped the weight. He hadn't played before. And so I think he'll be another example, just like we've had in the 2 years of the past, of guys that we force in there as as first-year players that they continue to develop.
Is there a sense of this group wanting to do this for the seniors, considering how they never beat Stanford?
No, we don't talk about that. That doesn't, all of a sudden what are you going to do, try harder? So I don't really understand that philosophy. We just try to prepare really well every day.
Is there a different philosophy on defense when you're playing a pro-style team? Do you try to get these guys in kind of a different mindset where it's more of like attacking instead of open field tackles, maybe?
Well, I don't know. I think that, as you look at these guys, they've moved the ball over the years really well by being very physical and coming downhill at you. And so as soon as you miss a tackle, they're not a sideline team, like some other teams we play. They're a downhill team, and you miss that tackle, their momentum's going forward.
What has Collette Holmes brought to this team and to your offensive line?
Great leadership, extremely intelligent player, and I think playing guard early has helped him, so that he basically knows what everybody does, and another great prospect.